pen and work with me as I'm going through the questions, but can you colour by here and just say green equals corrections? Okay, right then, so this question said, a ship leaves port A and sails to 6.2 miles on a bearing 90 degrees, and it's drawn that bit for us in there. It said it then turns and sails on a bearing of 224. Now that's not written in the question anywhere, is it? That 224, I can't see it anywhere here. Until it reaches point C, which is due south of port A. Calculate the distance between port C and the port A. Okay, so we need to work out this thing here. Is there anything that you can spot with this thing now that I've just drawn that line in? Anything at all? What sort of triangle? A right angle triangle. Because that's 90 degrees here, that must be 90 degrees there, shouldn't it? So as soon as we're seeing a right angle triangle, what two things are we thinking of straight away? Excellent. It's Pythag or it's trig. Okay. Now we use Pythag if we know two of the sides already. I know this side. Do I know this side? No. Do I know the side I drew in green? No. In fact, that's the side I've been asked to find. Okay. So that is probably telling me to use trig. But to use trig, I've got to know one side. Yeah. And an angle other than 90 degrees. Do I know an angle apart from the 90? Go on, brilliant, well done. Why? Fantastic. Now when I talk about a bearing of 224 at B, we measure bearings from north clockwise. So I know what all of this angle here is. All of that angle there is 224. Okay? Do I know what this angle here is? Go on. 90, fantastic. It's clearly a right angle, isn't it? So how can I work out what this angle here is? Fantastic, Des. Well done. You're going to add them up to 360. So I'm going to do on my calculator. I'm going to say, can you see that well enough? Ish. 360 minus the 224 and minus the 90. Is 46. Does that seem like a reasonable answer to go in there? I think so. If it was like bigger than 90 degrees, I would have looked at it and thought, well, that didn't look right. Okay? Okay, so now I know that angle is 46, I can start to use trigonometry. So what saying do we think of which is synonymous? We always think of trigonometry and we think of this word. Excellent, SOHCAHTOA. So when we're thinking SOHCAHTOA, what do we need to do to our right angle triangle? Good, we need to label it up with adjacent, opposite, hypotenuse. Here's my right angle. What does the right angle point at? Hypotenuse. Well done, Bav. You're on fire for this question. Here's my angle. So what is opposite my angle? This line here. And then this side here, what we call that 6.2 miles? Adjacent, ADJ. Okay, what do we do now? Fantastic. So what I have in SOHCAHTOA, now I have 6.2 which belongs to adjacent. So I've got the adjacent, so I'm going to underline that, and in the word SOHCAHTOA, I'm going to cross out wherever I see the adjacent, the A sign. Okay? What side do I want to find? Do I want to find the opposite or the hypotenuse? Brilliant. I want to find the opposite, so I'm going to underline that as well because I want to find it. And in the word SOHCAHTOA, I'm going to cross out the O's. Which one am I going to use? Sine, cos, or tan? Tan because? Brilliant. Because they are both crossed out, that is telling me to use tan. Okay? So we say tan. Do we use x or theta? More a question for Miss, I suppose. Theta. Tan theta, that means tan of the angle is equal to O, so opposite, over the adjacent. Now some people won't bother writing that. They will go straight into substituting into that, which would be tan 46 is equal to the opposite, which I don't know, so I'll just leave it as opposite, over the adjacent, which is 6.2. And we're almost there now, okay? How do I get rid of the divide by 6.2? Times by 6.2. So I get 6.2 times by tan 46 is equal to the opposite. And that's going into our calculator, okay? Now your calculator will automatically bring up a bracket for there. It doesn't matter if you actually don't close the brackets on that, it should still work, although really if you see a bracket, you should close it. Okay? And finally, I get the answer. Well, I get a really long one. Was it 6.4202879? Should I round that so I don't have to write out the whole thing? 6.4 to 1 dp? Lovely. Okay, so where did the marks come in that? 4 marks. You will get 1 mark for working out that 46. You will then get 1 mark for correctly identifying to use tan. You'll get 1 mark for substituting those values into the tan formula, and then you get 1 mark for your final answer, and that's how you get the 4 marks. Okay?